It's March 22. Spring has finally sprung, and let me give you an update on what's going on in the backyard. See how I have this big bush of a parsley? That's the one plant that survived winter, so that's a great plant. Now I'm excited about this. I have corn coming out. I had to cover it up because I didn't want the birds to rip at it. So we'll see how that goes. I got bitter melon. This is essentially a what do you call this? A volunteer plant. So we'll see how that works. I got a squash growing. Now I think they're squash, or I've been putting down a lot of either squash or watermelon. So I think that's squash. Here's a sunflower. Right now it's up to probably my waist level, but I expect that to grow a lot taller than this fence. Got this tomato I transplanted a few weeks ago, and this wing bean is a plant from last year. It died during the winter, but I didn't dig it up, so it had roots there, so it's growing. Turnips are great. The only thing is I got bugs right here that are eating up the leaves. I actually lost another plant earlier, so I don't know how to stop these. I'm hoping the birds will just come in and help me out. I tucked in a zucchini seed here, so I'm hoping that that's gonna survive. We'll see. This awesome sage has really gotten to be very healthy, very fat, with this lemon balm. So it's amazing. This thing is so pretty. Got more volunteer bitter melon, and I tucked in tomato over here, more squash. Training this squash to come up this entire thing right here, so that it's growing vertically, so it will leave me some space underneath. I got carrots, more tomatoes, long beans right there, that's sitaw, and I think I have some sprouts somewhere. They're either okra or Malabar spinach, not sure. This bed is like a work in progress. I keep having issues with this bed, so I keep amending it. I put a lot of manure and some coconut husk to keep the moisture in, but I don't know, I'm still struggling. These are the 2 figs that's growing. These are cuttings that I got from my dad's tree. So essentially all I did was cut a bunch of sticks, I think around fall, and stuck them in this pot. And I lost a few twigs. I think I started with 4 or 5, and only 2 of these grew. So we'll see how that works. Got these garlic flowers, so pretty. I don't think it's gonna give me bulbs, but I like them. Ornamentally, they're great looking, and I can, if I want to, I can use these leaves for cooking too. I got my potato growing there, more carrots, and let's see, I got another sunflower volunteer, and I want to show this other experiment I have. It's called the hugelkultur, and it's really a bad hugelkultur. And essentially what that hugelkultur does is it's a layer of branches, cardboard branches, compost, clippings, everything kind of on top of each other. So the whole theory is that as the materials decompose, it's going to retain a lot of that moisture and a lot of that nutrients, so eventually all of this row, because I stacked them all up, you see those sticks, and I got some cow manure with hay from someone at work for free. So it's eventually what's going to happen as this area breaks down. I may not need to water it as much. So I have sweet potatoes growing right here. Some that's an ornamental plant. I got a lot of marigolds and shiso, sunflower. See all of these shiso? They seed really fast. It's like mint. And if you're not careful, it can just spread all over the place. So I've been picking up a lot of these seedlings and pulling them out from places I don't want them to be at. But I think I like this row. It's going to look pretty because they're going to grow up to be about this height, about 2 feet tall. I got more squash here, and I got more trellis. So this wood is from the when I trimmed the tree, the front tree. Got more squash here. Let's see. And then this is nice. I kind of have it growing really wild. The marigolds, it looks really pretty. For me, at least, it does look really pretty. It's nice and fat. So eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to see more growth in here. So it's going to get all filled out, hopefully. So these are just seeds from a small packet that I started, 2 or 3 years ago. And as the plants grew and gave me flowers, I just spread them all around. Or I pulled them up, put them in the compost, and then they're just growing. Here's one of my fruit trees. I think this is the plum. That's the plum. I planted this last year. It's flowering, but I don't think it's going to give me any fruit just yet. It's still a baby. And this is my pear. Same thing, still a baby. Now, this is a mango tree that I planted from seed, and I don't know if it's gonna live. It died, it really dried up during the winter, but I don't know if it's gonna survive. And same thing here with my avocado. It was doing really well last year, but as you can see, I don't know. Well, I'll keep it on the ground just in case it decides to grow. Here's my calamansi. No problem with it. I trimmed it down. Should be no problem, hopefully. And here's the taro. I transplanted this from a different corner. There's a lot of water coming through here from the vent from up there. So this place is constantly wet. And this plant apparently likes wet plants. Wet areas. Because typically this grows around like the riverbeds in the Philippines. So that's what I'm trying to mimic. And here I'm excited about these ones. These little sprouts are bulbs that I planted a few weeks ago. So they're some kind of tulips. I don't know what they're called, but hopefully they do well. And here's another thing. I bought this. This was essentially a cutting from the produce section in the market. This is Thai basil, and all I did was put them in water. It rooted, and then I set it down. There was a bunch of these that I rooted, but this is the only one that survived. So I'm hoping that this would, see, it has flowers now. Hopefully it would grow. Here's another success story on my sage. It's nice and fat now. See how it's totally covered this bed, and now it's giving me flowers. So the bees are truly loving this. I think these are the blueberries and sili or chili plant, and sweet potatoes. Now I'm growing this mostly for the leaves. If I get if I get the actual sweet potatoes at the end of the season, then I'm happy. But I'll do a lot of stir fry and vegetable dishes with these. Let's see. And then I have my zinnias finally growing, and I have a bunch more of the sweet potatoes right here. Dogs are going crazy. This is what they like to do. Yeah, there's the 3 of them doing tug of war. Nobody wins in this game. Okay, this is that circle of bed that I started last year. It's really filled up. Started with just these 3. The creeping Jew, the spider lily, and the sage. I had ginger growing, but it didn't survive the winter. Then I have some more of the oregano. Okay, more of the oregano, plumeria. I was too lazy. I didn't put this inside the house when it got cold, so I don't know. I may have finally filled it. Okay, more stuff here. Swiss chard right here. I've been trying to grow Swiss chard for 2 years now, and I finally got them to grow. Got lettuce and broccoli over here. Spinach. More spinach. I'm kind of bummed out because I thought I planted a whole bunch of spinach and only these grew. Got chives and more garlic, more squash, and these are mustard greens, and more carrots, and here's more of the taro plant, and these are my cucumbers. I planted a bunch of these because I wanted to grow as much as I can, knowing that I really only need for this spot maybe 3, but I think I have 6 in there, maybe 5. Let's see. And then I have this plant that grew really tall. I think it smells like dill. I don't remember planting it, but it's nice and pretty. Apparently it's sweet because there's a bunch of ants on it, but I'm leaving it there. It's nice and pretty. And then lastly, getting bit by mosquitoes. I have my vertical tower. This one died. I got this creeping Jew, more of the bulbs, mint, this fern. It's ornamental. The mint, I actually cut that up and I divided them and I put them here, and it's growing a lot better than the original spot. So the whole time I've had mint, I've only had it here, but because it's a vertical tower and I don't have any irrigation automatically coming up here, if I forget to water by the hose, then this part tends to die and then it grows back up. So I haven't seen it like really healthy, so transplanting it to another spot might be the key. Now this is my lettuce area. I'm kind of scared to take out the cover because of the bugs that were killing the other beds. So, but then again, the problem is this might not be getting it might be getting too much shade. So we'll see how that goes. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I need to transplant this. It's starting to die on me. This is ginger, ornamental ginger plant. This is what they use in Hawaii for lathe. And I had it in the bathroom during the winter. It was growing really nice, but I need to put it in the dirt, otherwise it might not survive on me. Okay, and that was it. That was all I have.